I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the Married to Medicine LA After Show here on AfterBuzz TV, where we talk about all things Married to Medicine LA. I'm your host, Alexis, and I will be hosting with some beautiful people who are on here with me. We're going to start with Queen Esther. What up, girl?
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back. I'm so excited. Last week was fun. This one is actually extremely, really interesting, so I'm so happy.
Yay. And what's up, Eric? How are you doing today?
You know, just enjoying day 3,587 of quarantine. It's nothing. It's nothing.
I'm like, okay.
What's going on, girl?
Hey, how's everybody?
We're good. We're ready to dive into this episode. It actually wasn't that bad of an episode. This is the first episode without.
Wait, how are you doing? We didn't get to hear how you're doing.
Oh. Blessed and highly favored. Amen.
Glory.
Amen.
Okay.
Ready to talk about this episode. We're going to talk about this housewarming dinner thing that Kendra had going on. We're going to talk about this ongoing beef with Imani and Jazmine. And we're going to talk about Shanique and the fact that her husband don't want her to do nothing but be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, okay? Before we talk about all of that, what did we think of the episode? Starting with you, Eric.
This episode was definitely a little bit of a kick. You know, we had some speed behind it, okay? We're on the road now, and I was excited about it. Now, without giving too much away, I will say it's looking like Kendra is becoming the girl for me. Now, that might be a bit premature because it's episode 3. It's episode 3, so let me breathe. But that's what it's looking like.
Yes. What did you think, Regina?
I didn't feel like it was, I wasn't that excited about it. They amped it up more, but they still got a long ways to go. And I am so over and done with Dr. Imani and Jazmine's beef. Get to another storyline, please.
I totally agree. I can't wait to talk about that. But what did you think of the episode, Queen?
First of all, I absolutely agree with both of you. I know, like you said, Eric, it's probably premature, but I am kind of obsessed with Kendra now. Like, I really like her. She gave me everything today. I mean, this episode. And then, and then I also kind of agree that they are getting better. And so that's really good. But my favorite, I am having baby fever.
Oh yes.
My God, the baby, Kendra's baby,
he's so
killing
cute.
me. Oh, love it. Excited.
Yes, well, definitely a lot to talk about. I agree with all of you. Kendra, I don't know if she's my favorite, if I really am standing for her yet, but I do think that she's good for the group. I think that brings a little something to it. And I also agree with you, Regina, that I am over talking about this Jazmine and Imani stuff. Like, just let it go. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Shanique. So Shanique basically told her husband that she wasn't happy, and he was just like, okay. He had absolutely nothing to say. And I was really shocked. I thought her saying, I'm not happy was bold. Like, you literally are telling your husband that you're not happy. And while she's not saying, I'm not happy with you, she's not happy in the scenario that she's in. I thought that he would have shown a little bit of compassion. But what did you guys think of his response to her saying that? Anyway.
I think he had valid concerns. I wouldn't say that. I think he, of course, he knows that if she starts in real estate, he made, a really great point that she wants to be this big, realtor to the stars and that kind of thing. That's just not going to happen overnight. And he, I'm sure, has gone through her having a lot of different ideas and not really maybe implementing the steps that need to be taken to assure that they're successful. So, they do have a family with young children. So, all of that has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, but even before the whole realtor thing, because it seemed like that was kind of her prequel to her telling him later on in the episode that she wanted to be a realtor. It was kind of like she just wanted to feel what he was going to say.
The waters.
Just from her, wasn't happy, that he would have had more compassion for that. Even if he doesn't necessarily want her to work or do something different, if your wife tells you she's not happy, you would think that he would be like, well, what can I do? Like, how can we make this better? But instead it was just kind of like, whatever. It kind of gave me the impression like your job as a wife is to make sure I'm happy and your happiness doesn't really matter. But what do you guys think?
He kind of came across that way. You're right.
So I kind of look at it like two ways. One is the fact that he's just like, if you're unhappy, then you don't have to work. I make enough money to take care of you and the kids. That's one way. And he's just like, just quit, stay home. We have enough money. It's not like back then when we didn't have enough money. We have enough money now. So if you're unhappy what you're doing, you don't have to do it. Now, most women will be very happy with that. I think most people like, look, I'm marrying a man that I don't have to work. That's wonderful. On the other hand, to me, if she knows that her husband is like this drill sergeant kind of person, already has that experience in him, you need to go with a plan. And I kind of agree with him. It's like, what is your plan? It's just not you just telling me, oh, I want to be a realtor. What is your plan? You have to feel, the kind of man that you are with. There's some men that you talk to and just say, hey, I think I want to change my career. I think I'm unhappy. He's like, okay, fine, no problem. I'll support you however you want it. And there's some people that want, an itemized plan. I'm that kind of person. What do you want to do in 6 months, in 3 months, in 9 months? How are you going to achieve this? And I think if she had, presented that to him, there would have probably been a much better conversation. But the testing the water thing, it can work for some husbands, but you know your husband very well. So why are you going with testing the water? Come with an itemized plan, and then maybe he can probably support you. That's kind of how I look at it in two ways.
Wow, I'm very surprised to get these answers from you, Regina and Esther, as women, but I'm interested to know what you think before I give my 2 cents.
Okay. Well, I don't think her husband is cold by any means. I think he's just like, I don't even want to do a generalization and make him just like a Caribbean man across the board. I just felt like he was just present in the moment, listening to what was being said. I think that, okay, fill me in. Shanique works in real estate now, but there's a slight shift she's trying to do, correct? What's the difference?
So she works in multifamily industry, so in property management, but she's trying to switch to real estate, which is more like selling houses.
Okay.
And they're both demanding in either way.
Yeah, and I feel like there's some type of intersectionality between the two, obviously, because either way homes are being purchased or sold. So I feel like it's not like she's just been a housewife for all these years and now she wants to switch into a new field. She has some type of foundation in this field. So I feel like she raised a really valid point when she was like, I didn't ask you for an itemized list when you were in school and I was the one handling finances. And I'm like, well, then if that is the case and she was the one really providing for this family and you were hitting the books, then we need to reciprocate that. Don't turn around and become like, oh, you need to prove X, Y, and Z to me. If I didn't give you that energy, then reciprocate it equally. At least that's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I think I kind of lead more towards your opinion, Eric, to be honest, when they were having the whole conversation, and this is my single ass saying this, I was ever come at her like that. He is not her daddy. Like, I get as a married couple, you're supposed to talk everything out and make decisions together. But I wasn't getting that vibe from him. I was getting a my way or the highway type of thing. If you don't prove this to me, I'm not going to let you do this. And I don't think that he can do that as her husband because he's not her father. And two, it's just like, I would kind of be offended because it's like, unless she has a track record of just going out and doing ruthless things and making a mess of their life and causing all of these problems in their finances, why herself so hard to do this one thing? She's a property manager. She's been doing good at that. Why do you need all of this proof for you to trust me to be able to go out and do something new? As your wife, you should be able to trust that I can handle it. But what do you guys?
I'll tell you why. Remember when she was in the car with her kids and when she was telling her kids and her son was like, you're not doing that. Her kids already know. So to me, there is an implication that she's probably been changing her mind on certain things and not really fulfilling things to the end results. And so for me, it's like her husband's like, get a plan and I'll support you. I didn't think that he was cold at all. Again, some people are different. You can just tell me, hey, I want to be a doctor tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll support you. No problem. I don't need to, get atomized list of how you're going to succeed. Now, there's some people that I will meet and like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I'm like, okay, let's sit down. I know your track record. How are you going to be a doctor? What do you want to do so that I know when to come in to help you when you are weak, in your weak point. So I think it's really just like a balance of communication and knowing the kind of person that you're married to. I don't think she'll say I'm unhappy with, with our life, but just with my career, which is why if he's that kind of person where he's like a very budget calculating person, you need to come with numbers,
I think he knows his wife.
Exactly.
And he does not come across as a chauvinist to me, or a man that wants to just, make her stay at home with the kids, have more babies or anything like that. I just think that he knows his wife and he wants her to be sure that this is something she wants to do before she totally disrupts the family schedule and that kind of thing, to be really committed to it. Don't, say you're going to do one thing and then don't do it, or stick to it for the long haul. Because like he said, to be a celebrity realtor like she wants to be, sell houses to big wealthy folks, that's not going to happen overnight. That's a career that you have to build. I mean, it's just like on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What's Kyle's husband?
Yeah.
Remember he has
Mario. Something with an N.
What's it? Anyway, Mauricio.
Yeah.
Mauricio.
Yeah.
And so he started as a realtor, but it wasn't a big deal. He wasn't as big to the stars, but he got his big break when he sold Camille and Kelsey Grammer their big mansion. And from there, his name picked up. And so now he has one of the largest real estate agencies in LA. But it took time. And that show's been on, over 10 years.
I mean, I get it. I definitely say there's a risk to, going from one career to another. And, maybe he does know his wife. I don't want to say that she's dumb. I don't know her, but she doesn't seem like the brightest bulb in the pack. So I can see that. But for me, it feels like the concern isn't her or the finances. She said herself, they don't have to worry about finances. If she takes this risk, it's not going to hit them very hard. What I feel his concern is that he's going to have to step up in some way and help with the kids.
Right.
So that may mean that she's not be there to tend him at all times when he wants her to. And to me, that just is a little misogynistic and kind of like he feels like she has to do that for him as his wife. But what do you think, Eric? Maybe you can be the tiebreaker.
I mean, no, if anything, I'm going to contribute to the tie because I think I'm more with you. And I hear what Esther and Regina are saying. I feel like there is a reason why everyone is saying this, but I do feel a little bad for Shanique because I don't feel like she has an immediate place of support. I feel like she definitely has support, but I feel like you bring it to your kids, they drag you in the back of the car that you paid for. Then you talking about it with your husband after you done made him fish and broccoli and he done messed it up with over seasoning. Like, it's like, who is supporting this woman? Who is supporting this woman? Because it seems like she's really doing a lot here. Then on top of it, she has to film the show. And I know that she's getting some revenue from that. So it's just like, she's just not fulfilled. And I feel like in a marriage, if you can't help a person when they're feeling some type of shortage, they'll start to resent you for it because you are fulfilling your career goals and I'm settling. Like, I helped you get where you are and now I'm settling, and when I bring it to you, you're not helping me. I feel like it can really damage their marriage. So I feel like he needs to give her a little more leeway.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's gonna develop because I feel like that's probably going to be more into the next 2 episodes and how that's really going to play along. But I get the single girl, like, how dare you talk to me like that? Like, I get that. I am an independent woman to the highest level, but I also get the mathematics of it. Like, come with a plan and let's figure this out together.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? They have the means, her husband is saying. So My thing is this, it's a simple solution, honey. Hire a full-time nanny.
Done.
And
Now
she
we're
has to
talking about
come up with
something.
that.
They
Now we're
should do that.
talking about something.
Even if she's not a realtor, she seems very overwhelmed and unhappy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, can you feel bad for her because she literally has a husband who says you don't have to do any of this, and she's kind of just asking for the stress by adding all this stuff in. And I get, not wanting to have to feel like you're always leaning on your man or not feeling like you're not contributing in that way, especially if you're used to always working. But if you really feel that overwhelmed and your husband is saying you don't have to do this, why not just be a housewife?
This is why you manage the money. You manage the money, you become the accountant, and then you feel fulfilled. Telling you, just manage the money. You'll be fine.
All right. But before we go on, Queen Esther, do you have a message for our viewers?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for joining us again. Season 2, episode 3. Oh my God, we are super excited. I mean, this has just been like a dream for all of us, just being able to like talk about this. So please continue to join us every single week, every Monday. And of course, we have so many more content for you on all of our other shows. So definitely join us, subscribe, comment, like, share to all of your friends. We're here to entertain you. What are you doing? It's quarantine. We're here for you, okay?
Yep, go to YouTube, guys.
YouTube.
Thumbs up, right?
Yes, AfterBuzz TV and all of our social media page.
On iTunes.
Said do it. Just do it. All right. Let's talk about Queen Esther and Eric's new favorite person. Let's talk about Kendra. So,
Okay, I don't want to jump the gun too fast. I said it feels like. Feels like.
Can't take it back, Eric.
that made her this person that you really, really like? Was it the $600 plant or was it
Wasn't that? I promise you it wasn't that.
No, first of all, that $600 plan, I'm like, are you guys serious? Now, if I had to calculate it, how much is it usually per month for the next six years? Will it last me for the next 6 years? I can get the math to that, but can't see myself buying a $600 plan. That just makes no sense for me. But that's rich people's problem. People's problem. So who am I to talk? Like that kind of money is like probably like $1 to them. So I'll just keep my mouth shut on that one. So do you, girl? That's what makes you happy. But I really fell in love with her baby. He was like so cute, so adorable. And then the mom and the dad, just melted my heart. Like I love that she was able to show both of her culture. And she's still strong, but you can still see her soft side. And her picture with her belly and her money jumpsuit, I was like, I want to be you. I just fell in love with her this episode. Like she's all mine.
Has she taken the spot of Miss Quad, or Miss Quad still #1 in your heart?
I love me some Quad, but that's an established relationship. This is only year 2 in season 1 for Kendra. So it's like, give me some time. But this is the thing. I agree a lot with what Esther had said. I feel like she's such a matriarch. Like we get to see her handle the baby who is too precious. She has a great, or at least a seemingly great relationship with her husband. The way that they communicate is very effective. We got to see a bit of her culture. And I love that we are getting to see her talk a bit about like being a Black woman and being Vietnamese, because I don't think that's a combination I've seen on reality TV. And I like the way that they're handling it. It's not like one of the girls, well, other than heavily making the penis joke, it's not like the girls are taking a malicious approach to it. It's just like, I like the way that she's coming onto the scene. And I also like from episode 1 that she doesn't play. I can tell that she's not going to take any mess from the other girls, but she's not one of those people that's going to look for confrontation. If you bring it, consider it handled. But until then, I can be cute with my baby. I'm trying to get this work. She's very vulnerable about the fact that she doesn't know how to be a mom aside from her job. Like, she's so relatable and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that her mom told her, because she wants to get back to work, you got to stop breastfeeding.
That was a good conversation, because it's not like I personally know what's going on. I mean, obviously, but like,
okay, but
you know,
she would wear herself out trying to be a full-time doctor again and try to keep up with breastfeeding. It's hard to do. It just don't work.
But the reasoning behind it, like I never thought about the difference between Similac and then breastfeeding. So to have that conversation, and then I'm just like, oh, well, she's on to something here because there's so much going on. I mean, look at us right now. We're in quarantine because some bodies aren't meant to handle certain things. So maybe throughout breastfeeding, you can prevent things like this. I just feel like the conversations that lead and remind us that the show is married to medicine are always going to be necessary. So I really like what Kendra is bringing to this show.
Yeah, I never knew apparently that babies are smarter because they're.
Didn't think about it.
Actually, so I have goddaughter, and I've seen the whole process from pregnancy to delivery to after baby and all that. It's very, very important to breastfeed your children. If you can do 1 year, wonderful. God bless you. Your breast has, survived a whole lot. But I think 6 months is a very, very good time to do it. 6 months, and then mix the formula, and then once in a while breast milk, but mix the formula. I don't think it's good to just totally just like cut it off. So I didn't really agree with the mom that much. I think she should have probably told her to like find a way to have a balance, still do the formula, but like during the weekends, breastfeed, or just pump out the milk and the child will still drink actual milk.
Well, you know what? There's an exception to every rule, and I'm sure a ton of doctors would say that, of course, if you're getting milk from your mom and those vitamins and everything, is it definitely going to be a more healthier benefit? But there are a whole lot of healthy, smart kids and human beings walking this earth that didn't get breastfed.
I mean, Kendra didn't. And look at her. She's an OBGYN getting it.
Yeah. So you got to roll with the times.
Yeah.
But it's also a connection. I think that a lot of women pride themselves on being able to have that moment with their kid, because it's not like a long-standing circumstance. It's something that you do for the time being. And I don't know, this is her first child and she really wants to do it right. So I feel like there is a bit of a contrast between her or like a Britain that's kind of like, I don't want to rush right back to work. I really want to take this time and do this. And maybe because Britain has a few kids at this point and Kendra has one. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, usually like the first baby is one that you do try to do everything right. The second baby just like, look, I'll breastfeed you once a week, you'll be fine. Get some formula. But I think she's doing the right thing. Breastfeed your child at least for 6 months. My mom only breastfeed for like 3 months. I was done. I was like, give me formula. I like formula. So every child is different. I think she's doing the right thing. Just try and mix it up and have a balance,
And a good example is Serena Williams. She was torn because she wanted to get back to tennis, and she did. But she was breastfeeding her daughter at the same time.
Yeah.
And she was finally told, you have to let go of that. If you're going to get yourself back in the shape of being the athlete that you need to be to compete on the level that you are accustomed to competing on. So it really depends on the woman. And like you said, breastfeed for a while. It's your personal choice. And also depends on your career and who's the breadwinner. So
Kendra is not the only new person this season. They finally showed us, they didn't say that she was the new cast member, but she's in all the cast photos. And that's Leah. She's Imani's friend. And we didn't really get too much of her this episode, but based off of the little bit we did get, what did you think of her? And do you think that she's going to fit in with this group?
I don't like her. I didn't like her last episode. I still don't like her.
Leah is my news tonight, so.
I just think she just cuts in everything. Like, wait your turn. Like, this is not about you. This is not a conversation for you. Just wait your turn. I know she's trying to like talk and, be involved so people can get to know her and all that. But like, this is not the right way for us to get to know you. I think she's just take a sit back. I'm right now, I'm not feeling her. I hope I feel her later, but right now I'm not.
Yeah. I couldn't do the Bravo shows because look, if you have me in the intro and then you got this chick that we don't know has a stethoscope yet, always cutting in when there's a problem, rolling her eyes, I'm not the one. I'm not the one, the two, or the three. So it's just, it's a constant thing with Leah where the only glimpses we've gotten of her is her spewing in negative energy for situations that do not necessarily involve her. So now we have her at this brunch. And I can't even say that Imani is growing on me. I think she's beautiful, like what she represents. However, I feel like it's very pretentious. And then when you bring in a Leah type of attitude with it, and we still don't know who this chick is, it's like, I don't like this energy that y'all are bringing. I really don't.
Turn.
A lot.
Well, I'll fill you in on the Leah team.
I cannot wait to hear this. I don't know if you convince me to like her, but I cannot wait to hear this.
It's gonna take a few episodes. I need to be warmed up.
Yeah, I agree.
But speaking of Imani, a big crux of this episode was this Imani and Jazmine beef. You know, they've apologized, they said they're cool, and then they argue, and then they apologize again, and they say they're cool. And now Jazmine is just calling her fake. She's saying because she didn't tell her about her husband, she's fake. She didn't feel like her apology to her, the many, many times she gave the apology, that it was sincere. So at this point, does Jazmine have a point in Imani in how she acts, or is Jazmine just looking for something to be mad at?
Who wants to go first? It's too easy.
In between. I'm definitely in between. I think I'm over it. You guys need to move forward because this is just like too long already. If she's feeling like Imani's apology was not sincere, then that is her feeling. She has every right to feel that way. But I can also understand her perspective of her, feeling like when it comes to me, you guys want to know everything. You guys want to attack me. But when it comes to Imani, you guys are not bothered not to tell her and call her out of it. So she's calling my husband allegedly drug dealer, but then her husband is selling, weed and whatever.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. And so it's like, if that's okay for her, why you guys attacking me? So I think there's just an imbalance in everything. I think everybody just needs to, I think at this point, just move forward. I'm done with it.
Go ahead, Alexis. Go ahead, hon. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, does anybody want to add anything about Jazmine and her feelings towards Imani?
Regina, go first.
I mean, I said it first when we started. I'm tired of the storyline. It goes nowhere. It's empty. We need to move on. I mean, if they're going to have a knockdown, drag out fight, and I was going to say pull each other's hair, but anyways.
Right. Can't work with Imani.
Get it over with and move on. Please be friends or arch enemies or whatever, but just get it over with because it's just a weak storyline at this point.
Yes, we went to Arco episode 1. We drove the car a little bit, and now she ain't got no gas, and we need a park car because I can't keep reliving. This is the thing. I like Jazmine's energy. I like that she wants to prove herself. She wants to do her concierge service. I like the energy that she brings. However, we are not going to get back into a space of comfort and have to work towards a friendship. And then you think I'm going to spill on the phone everything that's going on with my husband. What happened to taking baby steps? And then on top of it, from the minute that we were at the minute we were at Britton's birthday, it was like, once you heard that my husband was away, you already took it to the confessionals like, oh, I call bullshit. It's like, do you want the information to genuinely care? Because if so, why haven't you reached out to me like Imani said? Or are you just looking for something to kiki with Shanique over? Because I'm not here for it. So I mean, as a bit abrasive as I think Imani is, I think that there's a reason why she's not giving all the information to Jazmine. Jazmine hasn't even given me a reason to believe she genuinely cares.
Yeah.
These two girls genuinely don't like each other. They just don't mix, or they're oil and water. So it doesn't matter what happens throughout the season. They can be empathetic towards each other as women and respect each other as women. But as far as hanging out, if you my girl, my ride or die, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and I feel not really even giving it a chance. Why apologize and have these heart-to-hearts if you're not going to actually be open to what they're saying? Like, you don't believe their apology. Then even after she gives the apology, she's fake because she's not telling you all her business. But we just got cool. We just had our moment. So it's like, you're not even really giving me a chance to show you that I've moved past it because they keep dwelling on it. and they won't let it go. And I want to say it's all Jazmine, but you know, Imani also made some comments saying that a messy ass bitch, and I just was like, what exactly did she do that has Imani feeling that way? So I can't really Jazmine, because it just seems like Imani just doesn't want to like her either.
Well, you know, Imani made some really nasty comments to me, condescending comments about the other girls. And that's one of the problems with the show, is they got like a caste system going on here. Whereas the doctors feel like they're up here, and then the doctors' wives are like the worker bees or something, you know, worker bees. I mean, it comes across that way because Dr. Imani made a comment about, with Britain, I think they were having lunch or something, and said, I don't need to go home to a man that's going to tell me how much money is in my, that I could spend, or how much money he going to give me. Something to that reference.
Is that why her husband is not with her?
No, he's somewhere flipping bricks in Oklahoma, not flipping bricks, weed. You get it.
You know, it's just, but one thing Jazmine did point out, she's saying my husband is a drug dealer and hers is in Oklahoma selling marijuana.
Which would have been a great moment. The 360 would have been a great moment for Jazmine to really get up in there. But Jazmine was so oblivious to what was going on. I'm like, that was a moment of clapback gold. And you just was like, I don't get it. And I'm like, Jazmine, girl, cut the footage. Like, I can't. I don't.
Do y'all think Imani was being shady when she made that comment of, I guess I'm living with a drug dealer, even though she's not living with him, but even I'm living with a drug dealer? So
I think she wasn't necessarily trying to be shady. She was trying to put it out there so no one actually has to say anything about it. It's like, let me talk about myself, get it out there so that none of you can throw it at me and make it more negative. So she's smart on that one. Very, very smart.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. That's a good perspective. What did you guys think about Shanique kind of inserting herself into the argument? One, why she was popping off, and two, I think that, I guess she was popping off because Leah inserted herself, which I get she probably shouldn't have done. But why do you think it ticked her off so bad? And how do you feel about her bringing up the fact that Leah talked about Kendra's outfit? Do you feel like that was irrelevant for the moment? Like, what did we think about all of that?
I think that Shanique did it because Shanique is at a point, or we're at a point in the show where Shanique has to establish herself as a character, and we haven't figured out who that is. Is she that rah-rah girl? Is she this Jamaican chick? Like, what is Shanique's deal? And both of which I'm not seeing. But I think that with Leah, the same frustration that me and Esther expressed, that's probably where Shanique was coming from, where it's like, why do you always pop up with negativity? Like, you're not even in the intro. You won't be at the reunion unless it's like a cameo piece with the husbands. So I feel like with Shanique, it was kind of like, let me bring you down a peg. And also, as much as I thought Britton and Jazmine were friends based on the earlier edits, it doesn't seem like Britton holds back when it comes to hopping on Jazmine. Like, whenever Imani has a situation, Britton is like, well, you got Shanique on your side, so da-da-da-da-da. So I feel like with Shanique, it's about restoring some type of balance, because if she didn't, Jazmine would literally just be sitting there looking like a dunce.
Yeah. What do we think?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was passionate, but I meant it.
Okay.
I don't think it was necessary for her to bring that up, but it was also good. I don't know. It was just weird. Like, the extra fire was nice just for us to see her like go off a little bit, but it's just like we could have, like, we would have been okay without it.
It felt like she was trying to have a moment that she didn't really need.
Yeah, but it was still okay, just to see a little extra spark now that the Atlanta girls are no longer here to bring the fire. So it was okay, but we could have been okay without it a little bit. But
it came across.
Yeah, I absolutely loved what the husband said. Like, that was amazing to me. I was just like, okay, you are sure. Like, I feel like the husband even brought a lot more of his character this episode than the wife,
Yeah.
Well, she came across real amateurish to me.
Right, that's what it
With
was.
no class, honey.
That's the word.
Take your leg off of my chair.
Yes! Yes!
You
What are we doing? This is not IKEA.
You
The
have some
showroom.
manners.
Let's get up.
Have some manners.
What are you like?
Like, you're not
This one for the
16.
circus. What's going on here?
I wish Kendra would have been like, please put your foot down. Please put your foot down.
My
Yeah.
expensive chairs.
Get her contract extended.
But I don't think her bringing up the outfit was bad timing. I feel like she was saving it for a necessary moment. And I think that the way that Kendra received the information showed that what Shanique said was effective. Because you can see Kendra was visibly hurt, but she didn't want to like outright turn on Leah in that moment because she's like, I need to assess the situation, which is why she walked away. So I feel like Shanique was effective in that regard. But also, no, call it out because Leah keeps inserting herself. Why not? Let it fly.
Okay.
That's her role.
Mm-hmm. But do you think that she was kind of making it bigger than what it was? Because at first she was like that Leah was talking about her outfit, but then she said that she was body shaming her. I didn't get that, but did you all get that from what she said?
Based on the quote that she gave, but this is the thing, it's not necessarily a receipt if it's not tangible. She's just recapping what happened. So when she was like, did you see what she was wearing? Da 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 da. It's like, if what was said was repeated verbatim, then yes, I can see that as body shaming. However, I don't know what Leah said because it wasn't like a text or anything like that. So I can't say that she's body shaming. No, I think Shanique was trying to add some spice in there, you know, to really heighten the moment, but I can't confirm that.
But
Well,
I do like that Kendra was like, look, that was the only thing that I could fit. I just had a baby. You know, I think at that moment, even I just like, okay, hold up, Esther. You know, like I had to like take a step back. I'm like, you guys were like making fun of this woman. She just had a baby. It takes a while for people to like snap back, you know, to whatever shape that you want to be. And I just really felt bad for her at that moment.
I did too.
That's where I said these girls, their chemistry is just not there. And so it'll be interesting to see after this season what they do to get better chemistry because they're really lacking.
And that's part of the difference between LA and the Atlanta girls. No matter how much the Atlanta girls fight, they do have a good friendship, you know, with all of them, even Quad.
Yeah, it feels like with Atlanta, they were already friends before the show, and for this one, aside from Jazmine and Shanique, like they just brought this friend group together for the sake of the show, not that they were actually friends. Yeah, I totally get that. All right, well, let's get into our special segment. We've got Doctor or Doctor's Wife.
Very exciting. Okay, after buzzers. So in case this is your first time tuning, oh, you ready?
I'm holding my buzzer.
Good. So after buzzers, just in case this is your first time watching our after show, Doctor or Doctor's Wife is as simple as this. I will read you a series of quotes, and after that, you will determine whether or not it was said by a doctor or a doctor's wife, and which doctor or doctor's wife said it. So our first quote, please raise your hand too, because y'all be interjecting over each other, and it makes it hard.
I got my buzzer.
Okay. She's not waiting at home for her husband to come home and tell her how much money she can spend. Was that said by a doctor or doctor's wife?
Dr. Imani.
Okay, Esther, you got that one.
I had
You got that one.
One for me. I'm writing it down.
Yes. All right, so the next quote. Hobart's looking freakishly Michael Jackson up in here. Next thing you know, he'll be grabbing Little Heart and dangling him from a damn balcony. Regina? Doctor or doctor's wife. Okay.
Yes.
Right. That was good.
I don't remember any of these.
Oh, she said it in the party when Hobart had that face mask on. And he was sick at Kendra's house. Yep.
Yeah.
She put me through hell. She put my family through hell. And here her husband is selling weed. The freaking hypocrisy here has me bleep, bleep, bleep. Alexis?
It is a doctor's wife, and it is Jazmine, because I remember thinking, how was she put through so much hell when don't nobody know who you are?
That was good.
All
okay,
right. We all have one. We all have one. It's okay.
Right. We have 2 more. Let's see what y'all got.
Yes.
The next one. I'm sure you'll do what you do best. Go around and critique.
Ooh.
Esther?
Dr. Kendra. She said that to her mom.
Yes.
Yes. You are.
Okay. That was good.
I was ready.
All right, final round.
Okay.
Our last quote is, I'm gonna call you out on your stuff all the time.
Oh, man.
Esther's hand went up first.
Doctor's wife, and she was Shanique.
Yes.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you and thank my mom and my dad for this honor. This award means a lot to me. I worked hard for this.
Right.
The next week is on, sis.
Yeah. Pen and paper ready. Pen and paper ready.
And that was all for Doctor or Doctor's wife.
Yeah.
That's always so fun. Thank you, Eric. All right,
Great.
long-awaited news you got for us. Some news and gossip.
Well, since you guys were throwing shade so early on Leah, Diaz,
Please tell us.
and everybody in social media wants to know who the mystery woman was, so we got to really get a taste of her on this episode. And she is a friend, of course, of Dr. Imani Walker, and she is married to a psychiatrist and currently lives in Beverly Hills with her 3 children, 2 by her husband, 1 from a previous relationship. She owns 4 businesses.
Oh.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, honey. And she's running her household. Plus, she's filming a reality show. And she wears a lot of hats. But when describing her experience as being the newbie on Married to Medicine LA, she says it's very, 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 very eye-opening. I thought I would just come in and get along with everyone. I own a business, and part of my job is just to be likable. I just feel like I did not stand in with some of the ladies, and it's so obvious as you watch the show go by. She explained during an interview she had recently with the Black Star. So Diaz and her co-star, Jazmine Johnson, grew up both in Inglewood and married psychiatrists. But their friendship is non-existent in that. Oh, let me add this bit of tea. She says we don't get along, we don't like each other, and I can clearly say that. I know that she doesn't like me, and to be honest with you, I think part of the issue was me coming on to the show. She felt compromised, and there you have it.
I still don't like her.
At all. What are you talking about?
Like, first of all, you are the one that's coming in negative. So how is someone supposed to like you when you say negative things?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep your 4 businesses.
Well, I think she's trying too hard to be, obviously they brought her on to be the bad girl.
Yeah.
Sort of like a Nene Leakes, but she's not Nene, of course.
First of all, no
but that person that keeps stuff going. That's
yeah. I just like when it's done in a way that's organic and authentic. Like, if you're gonna be that bad girl, look for your moments that make sense, but don't insert yourself into already established beasts, because then it makes you seem like a tag along. And then it's like, it's very, because my friend doesn't like you, I'm not gonna like you, which is real schoolyard. I don't. Yeah. If she would establish herself in her own storyline a little later in, and just for now kind of play the scene. Just be the friend. Then I could get with it, but I don't like the way that she's being used so far. Maybe she'll turn it around. It is her first solid speaking role, I guess. So we'll see.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, just like Dr. Kendra. I mean, she came in. It was her moment. She took it and she ran with it, and we were just okay. Who is this person? Right. But she went off in a very appropriate way. You said something negative to me personally, I'm gonna say something back to you, which she did. But this other girl, I just keep quiet. Find another storyline.
Yeah, for now, like, you'll have your moment, but it wasn't any of the ones you've chosen so far.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, you know, if she ends up fitting in, if we end up liking her more. Hey, maybe by the end of the season, we all love her. You know, you never know.
I mean, we just fell in love with Kendra out of the blue.
I'm right. So.
You know, you just never know.
There's hope for her.
See, but although this has been very fun, we do have to get out of here. But before we do, let's give our predictions. What do we think is going to happen next? Starting with you, Regina.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I think what's going to happen next, thank God, is that they're going to move on from the Jazmine, Dr. Imani story because Leah's going to step in, and it's going to be Leah and Jazmine because they're both homegirls from Inglewood. They're both married to psychiatrists, but they don't like one another. And they have made that known. And I think we're going to see the tension amp up between those two.
Yep.
Okay.
Queen Esther.
I think Leah and Kendra are going to have a conversation. I think they're actually going to be very mature, and there'll be more of an apology. It's like, hey, I'm sorry that I said that. It'll be a good, woman to woman conversation and just kind of get over that. So I think that's going to like end really, really fast. When it comes to Shanique and her husband, I am hoping to see a lot more. A lot more from them actually having a more detailed conversation of how she's going to expand, in her new venture. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully they show that next episode.
Okay, Eric.
I think that Shanique is gonna start to get a little more feisty because she has her own home stuff going on, and then she has to come film with these girls. So I feel like all of that is gonna cause her to be a little more zesty, which could create a little more fun for us. And I think that just some previews that I've seen in past episodes, it's Jazmine and Kendra are gonna start to have a bit of a shift in their friendship, which I didn't even know that they were friends because we haven't seen that. But yeah, they're gonna have a shift in their friendship. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna take place. But yeah, and maybe we'll get to know a little bit more about Imani as a person.
Yeah. I think my prediction, I just really think that there's something fishy going on with Imani and her husband, especially when they revealed in this episode, that they had went on a couples trip to Cancun and her husband didn't come. Brittany's husband, it's like, you went on a couples trip and he didn't come. You haven't been wearing your ring. He's not living with you. I think that she's using this job thing to save face and that there really are some marital issues there. And I think it's going to come to the light. I think we're going to see sort of a thing with Britain, because I feel like right now Britain is the middle person. You have Jazmine and Shanique right here. Then you have Imani and this new girl, Leah. It seems like Leah may have some issues with Kendra. Kendra is Britain's friend. So it's kind of like, which way is Britain going to go? So I think that's going to end up being a problem at some point in the season. But we'll have to keep watching to know.
Yes.
Here, guys, this has been so fun as always. Before we go, though, let the world know where they can find you.
Well, you can catch me on Instagram at The World According to Eric, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Eric Devontae.
Yep.
And you can catch me on Instagram and Facebook, Queen Esther E. Also on my YouTube page, Queen Esther Ekanem, and that's EKANEM. So definitely subscribe, join me. I have great contents to show you all.
Nice.
At Regina Coles, guys, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yes, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at I am Lexi Fierce and on YouTube, Alexis Natalie. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week in the next review video. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.